Hey guys, it's been 8 years. I'm back. It'll probably be another 8 years before you see another video. Who knows? A few people have messaged me or commented on my videos or whatever, being like, "Where are you? Are you dead?" Well, no, I'm not dead. Here I am. I thought I'd talk about Triple H going to the Hall of Fame because I think it's like the stupidest fucking thing. I mean, it's not really. Like, of course he was going to go in at some point, and you know, who cares really? But what's just shocking to me is just like the revisionist history of Triple H. I've been like I'm 36 now. Like I've been a fan since the 90s. Like I've seen a lot of Triple H, like more than I would like. you know, like I think I set up. I'm a part of this Discord. Great community, you guys. You know, most of them former YouTubers who spoke about wrestling. And I said, like, Triple H was so lucky that Bret Hart left, that Shawn Michaels got injured, you know, but in the 90s, like, without those guys leaving, he never would have had a chance to have gotten to the top of the card. But even then, he was still behind, like, Austin, Rock, Foley, Taker, you know, probably at certain points, like Kane even, Big Show, you know, like, he really wasn't like a top guy. Like, and I was reminded about like the top stars of the 90s DVD set that the WWE released. And it was just, again, that was stupid as fuck as well. Like he was in there and like, I won't rant about it again, but certain guys should have been in there and weren't, and he was in there and shouldn't have been. It's, you know, more revisionist history from the WWE. You know, I just think about like, the amount of time he was in the main event scene, you know, let's look at like 2002 to 2007. Look at the massive decline in ratings and interest in the company at that time. Like, yeah, it probably would have happened anyway without Triple H being at the top of the card and maybe someone else being there. But I think he probably sped things along, especially on Raw. Like, that period of time was not pleasant. Like, the amount of guys who should have gone over but never did. You know, the poor match quality in the main event scene. Not all of it was him, but a lot of it was poor like him coming out. He would take up like a quarter of the TV time. You know, him and the programs that he was in, with the guys that he was with. You know, and no one was getting over except for him. You know, Jericho, Booker T, RVD. I know they've all been brought up at some point before, but even guys that were already over who they brought in and just diminished the value of them. Goldberg, Steiner, you know, he was kind of washed by that point, but you could have done something with him. You know, it's Booker T's being discussed like ad nauseum. It's insane. But just you think about that period of time. How many good matches were there? How many good matches has he really had in the length of career he's had? I mean, he'd been the top heel of the company for probably, I don't know, over 10, 15 years. And just the match quality's just never been there. The promos haven't been that inspiring. I can't really think of any great promos where I'm like, oh man, that was a good promo, that was emotional. There was nothing to him. It was just, he'd come out, he'd ramble, you boo, blah, blah, blah. You know, and looking at after 2007, like I can't remember really much except for shit where he would just insert himself into these big moments, these big situations. You know, what was it? You know, when Lesnar came back, you know, he came back, Lesnar came back, it was a big deal, he had a big competitive feud, then to rehab Lesnar, he had to destroy Cena. But it's like, Triple H wasn't doing anything. Sting, when he was finally brought into the WWE, Triple H had to beat him. Why? Who fucking knows? Who knows? Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, they had no reason to beat Sting. Like, it was just obscene, and it just seemed petty and shallow. Like they just had to give the WWE just another win over a company that had been dead for however many years. You know, when Ronda Rousey joined the WWE as well, it had to be a program with Stephanie and Triple H, and Kurt Angle, who'd returned as well. They just put him in there. Kurt Angle, like, you know, it was a bit of a career renaissance, not a career renaissance, not really, like he was just coming back and there was a lot of hype around it because he was finally back in his home, and Triple H had to be there. He had to be in like the hottest program. You know, it's just so fucking stupid. Like this is all as a performer. As a performer, not that good. Like talented, yeah, but talented to the degree where he should be a top guy for 15 years? No. No way. Good look, you know, good charisma, but just not a top guy to that degree. Just, I never thought he was. I always thought he was probably like an upper mid-card guy for most of his career, with a very small window due to a lack of other talent being around, where he was a main eventer, like probably 2002. Yeah, he probably would have been a main event guy, but just the matches weren't there. And it was a perfect opportunity to build so many other guys, and they didn't do it. A lot of them got over anyway later on, but no thanks to the programs that they had with Triple H. Yeah, he put over Batista, he put over Orton. Big whoop. You know, like, yeah, they were guys that were, you know, built off of him for so long. They had so much exposure to the audience because they were always with him. They were over, you know, because they were always on TV with him. And I guess that was good for their careers, but, you know, I'm not a big fan of either of those workers. You know, Randy Orton, like, just wrestles in slow motion. Batista, you know, he was all right, like, for a big guy. But, you know, pretty rigid a worker, and had to be in the ring with someone really good to make it work. You know, as a CEO, like, I don't really follow WWE anymore. I watched the first episode of Raw on Netflix, and it just it was just a massive turn off. I couldn't do it, you know. Like, so many people have said, oh, you know, it's good now, and it's like, okay, cool. And the issues that I had with the Raw show in particular were kind of like people who had said to me, this is what it's like. It was so slow paced. And Triple H, front and center, the show was so slow paced. Like, it was half an hour before, like 45 minutes before the first match started. You know, Triple H came out and he was, you know, filleting himself, and then The Rock did the same thing. It was like really patting themselves on the back on, you know, because of how much money they made. It was the stupidest fucking thing. You know, it was just mental. But I think, like, as a CEO, yeah, maybe the product's gotten better. I don't know. I watch a little bit and I just go, not for me. Like, it's still, the production's pretty good. Yeah, I've noticed some improvements. My issue with WWE in the end was the camera work. It was way too shaky. It was like TNA camera work. They'd zoom in and shake the camera as the spot would happen. It was kind of shit though. Like, it just made me feel queasy watching it. So, like, Japan, indie promotions, even Mexico, pretty much any other wrestling now doesn't really do that, and the ones that kind of do, I don't watch because and there's not many left. But, you know, it's improved since then. But I think it's just been, I mean, you think about the audience, it's been whittled down to, like, really quite a small amount to what it would. I don't sound like Pierce Power, like the audience is tiny now. But I just think it's just like, the product might be better, but how couldn't it have been? Like, everyone heard about how Vince would rewrite the shows so close to the shows actually airing, with anyone else in charge with just some common sense and just, like, taking it easy a little bit. Yeah, of course they would have been better. Making my camera shake. But I just, like, it's just crazy to me to think that, you know, for a very long period of time, a large chunk of the audience really didn't like Triple H and left the product. I mean, you think about how many people watched or followed or whatever the WWE, they're gone. They're gone. The fans that are still left, I mean, yeah, they think he's great, and he's Uncle Paul, he's whatever. But it really, like, it's just, he just whittled away, or not he, but, you know, they whittled away the fans that they had, and then the ones that were left just kind of accepted him because he was always there. But really, when you look at it, was he that good? Were his matches that good? Were his promos that good? And did he really improve the product as a CEO because of, you know, something he did? Did he do anything spectacular? No, he just he just led a massive team of writers. You know, the consistency was what it was about, really. You know, not having constant rewrites from Vince or stupid gimmicks, or, you know, just a bit more common sense. And of course, the product's hot. How long's it going to be hot for, though? And how is he going to respond when it's not hot? You know, will he even be around? Who knows? There's all these sex scandals with Vince, but, you know, there's more coming out, and he may have known about it. But it's just big fucking deal. Like, congrats, Triple H. You booked yourself into the Hall of Fame. Good work.